Focus, US President-elect Donald Trump escalated his expansionist rhetoric, saying he wouldn't rule out using military coercion to take control of Greenland or the Panama Canal. Trump has issued threats against several US partners. He floated using economic force to annex Canada, though officials in those nations have staunchly pushed back. He also proposed renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. Trump's pledges of territorial expansion are improbable, but affirmed that he plans to take foreign policy to new precedent-shattering levels, as per Bloomberg report. But the swift, serious rebuffs from world leaders, analysts say, show how much Trump is already controlling the geopolitical narrative. Just listen in to a string of threats and comments Trump made a few hours ago.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada, because Canada, they come through Canada too, and the drugs that are coming through are at record numbers, record numbers. So we're going to make up for that by putting tariffs on Mexico and Canada, substantial tariffs. People that did some bad things were not prosecuted. You know, I see it all the time, and you see it too. People that were doing some bad things weren't prosecuted, and people that didn't even walk into the building are in jail right now. So we'll be looking at the whole thing, but I'll be making major pardons yet. Those hostages aren't back. I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Can you elaborate? And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. They should have never been the attack of October 7th. People forget that.
And for further clarity, my colleague Natasha Israni joins us with an update from New York at the moment. As always, Natasha, thanks so much for making time for us. Donald Trump has just held this wide-ranging press conference at Mar-a-Lago. He's made several controversial statements on international issues, energy policies, major pardons, even the late President Jimmy Carter, as you've mentioned. Take us through the key takeaways from this press conference, and what could they indicate about Trump's approach as he prepares to take office in another 10, 14 days?
Well, this wide-ranging news conference from Mar-a-Lago is raising a lot of speculation, but also questions and concerns. These concerns are not entirely new. This is what happened also during Donald Trump's first presidency, when he came out and it was very uncertain on how the United States stood traditionally on key foreign policy issues. Now, traditionally, the United States has been seen as isolationist. They really value their independence, and they don't seem to have any imperialistic designs. But this is what changes when Donald Trump comes out in his news conference and talks about Greenland as well as Panama Canal in the way he did, not ruling out military force. Now, he didn't say that for Canada. He just said that he would impose further tariffs on Canada, which he said before, in order to make that country do more in its share to alliances like NATO, also calling Canada the 51st state. So when he makes statements like this, it really raises speculation not only amidst these countries, but also other countries as to how volatile Donald Trump is going to be. Now, it wasn't just about foreign policy, though. As you mentioned, he talked about trade a lot and about energy. And he has, remember, he's come to power this time also mainly riding on concerns about inflation. And one of the things that Donald Trump highlighted was that he was going to reduce costs by reducing the cost of energy, by not focusing on renewable energy as much, but traditional sources of energy. He criticized President Biden's stopping of offshore drilling in key sensitive environmental areas. So really a wide range of issues addressed at his long a conference, including some statements which are finding a lot of room even on the social media, with him saying that the whales are going crazy because of windmills, and facts like that are not proven by environmental science. Whales are affected more by issues such as getting stuck in fishing boats and not so much windmills, but those are just small examples.